Hi, everyone, and welcome to another heart-centered episode of Love Speaks out in the community. And I'm your host, Candice Ruggiero, and I'm so grateful you're here today. Thank you for making time to receive and share love with us. This show is all about shining light on everyday people in our community who are living with intention, compassion, and deep love, not just in words, but in the work they do and the lives they touch. Love Speaks Out in the Community is an extension of my weekly love show, and this streams every Monday across different social media platforms. Beyond the live stream, I do my best to show up in person, out in the community, to connect with and feature incredible individuals who embody love, kindness, and compassion in action. I also hold space for those who may be going through something and just need to be seen, heard, and loved. My hope is that Love Speaks can echo beyond this community throughout the country and one day across the globe. Because love is universal and my intention is simple but powerful, to spread more of it wherever I go. Today, I'm honored to welcome someone whose spirit and story truly move me, Keo Fox. Keo is a licensed aquatic massage therapist with more than 20 years of experience and a registered Watsu practitioner since 1999. Her sessions blend movement, breath, stillness, and deep presence, all rooted in love. She's also a retired teacher of the deaf, a licensed animal massage therapist, a certified nurse's aide, a bodybuilder, and a proud super ager. Yes, she won a national bodybuilding title at age 36, and she's still lifting with goals set for her 80s and 90s. Keo describes her life philosophy as PLURK, play plus work. And she brings that joyful, nurturing energy, whether she's supporting humans, animals, or even responding in post-disaster zones as part of a national deployment theme. Viewers, help me welcome Keo Fox to Love Speaks. Hi, Keo.
Thank you, Candice.
It is such a pleasure to have you in the second episode of Love Speaks out in the community. And I want to warmly welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for this honor. It's an honor to be with you.
And please know that I know that you've been busy. Summer is usually busier than the usual. How have you been this summer?
I have been somewhat busy, although I do try to take breaks now and then.
Okay.
I'm not traveling that much because that can be kind of crazy, but I am traveling a little bit this weekend, so I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. So Keo and I are both in Florida, where the perks are beaches, spring sport, and tons of parks. So that's one of the things that we are really proud of since we are resident of Florida. So I hope you're enjoying your summer the same way that I'm enjoying mine. Your work with Watsu and aquatic bodywork is deeply rooted in connection, your presence, and healing touch. Now, how does love play a role in the way you approach your sessions, whether with people or animals?
That's something I had to learn. I didn't naturally show up feeling I was in a loving space or had loving presence.
Okay.
But through my studies of aquatic bodywork and animal massage, I began to realize that it's about trust.
Yeah.
And it's about creating safe space. And those things are natural when you are in a space of love, in a place of love in your own heart.
Right.
So over the years, over the decades, I've always tried to figure out what's going on in me that's preventing me from loving myself fully. The negative critic in the mind, not believing in my potential, not hooking on to confidence and hope and keeping moving. I mean, I had to learn how to do all those things as an entrepreneur.
Right.
So I think through failure and through adversity, I've learned to be resilient.
Yes.
And you just have to, as a woman in our culture particularly, but as a body worker and a person who is in touch with animals and people, you need to have a place that's your own in your heart, where you always feel like you're strong and can love. most of the work that I do is about love and touch.
Right.
And touch. So yeah, it has to do with intention. It has to do with what you believe and what you think
Right.
about yourself and others too.
And the fact that you work with animals, I mean, let's face it, these animals are part of our lives no matter what. Like, we don't even treat them as like an animal. Like, once you really have your pets, they just give you the most unconditional love. So how can you not love something so precious and so,
I agree.
right?
Even if you can't have a pet and don't have a pet, you have to think back to how our civilization started.
Right.
All human societies built themselves on the backs of animals.
Right.
Oxen, horses, donkeys, all these four-footed cows, goats. I mean, all of these creatures, we have to respect and honor them. Even
So that it takes a certain person with a certain gift, with a certain skill to really work with animals. Because I feel that animals are intuitive themselves. They feel if you have a genuine love for them. They feel if you're doing this out of like just work or that love that we can offer not just for people but for animals. They truly feel it. I've worked in the field of education for 30 years. And for the past 2 years, there has been like a defining moment in my life. My husband passed away. And in those 2 years, I transitioned to different roles. Keo, I became a speaker. I became a podcaster, live show host, and now I'm going out in the community to at least whatever I practice with my words, I want to show it in action that I take on. Keo, it has to be rooted in love. Any role, I just want to make sure that love is in the center of what I do. Like as a teacher, made it for 30 years because I genuinely love children, and that's because of the love that I have for kids, and that's the passion for learning is there. The love for learning. I feel like we're all lifelong learners, right? And now that every post, Keo, every message, every video that I share comes from my experiences, because I feel like I want them to know that this is my way of showing love to the community. I want to make sure that it's rooted in love, because you know what? If it's not, I feel like there's no purpose. So Keo, you've dedicated your life to service, from teaching and caregiving to supporting veterans and volunteering in sanctuaries. Keo, how has your love for yourself helped you continue to give to others while maintaining your own emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being?
well, you just said it. You can't give to others unless you have something to give.
Yes.
And the only way you have compassion and energy and love is to love yourself.
Yes.
I love myself very much. I'm very proud of myself. I think I'm a good person.
Yes.
Because not because of what I do, but because how I feel about others.
Right.
I don't try to push the river. I
Right.
just try to see what needs to happen on the river. Whatever boat I'm in, I'm going. I'm just following the flow. And that's why I love the aquatic body work that I do
Yes.
so much, because I never know what's going to happen in a session.
Right.
I may have some goals with the person, like they might want to work on their flexibility, or maybe they were in a minor car accident. Maybe their neck is bothering them, or maybe they're just sad or depressed or worried.
Right.
I want to let go of anxiety or tension or stress. And I usually ask my people, what is it? Why are you here?
Right.
What's your intention? What do you want to receive? Because I'm not giving it to you, the water.
Yes.
It's just a giant flashlight. And we're just going to go follow the light and see what happens.
Now, we talked about Watsu, and for the viewers or the people who don't really know what the program is all about, can you briefly give us an understanding what it is?
Related to shiatsu, which is
Okay,
Japanese
yes.
massage. So the word watsu is a combination of two words. It's
Okay.
a made-up word. It's patented.
Uh-huh.
It's water, shiatsu.
Oh, okay.
I've worked with pregnant women.
Okay.
I've worked with people who have psychological challenges,
Right.
on medication. I've worked with people who are dying.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful to see someone still caring about their health and wanting to reduce stress and tension and just have peace, because it's so important during the healing process, no matter where you are in your health journey on the
Right.
planet. Athletes. I've worked with Olympic athletes.
Wow.
I've watched through almost everyone in my entire family. It's rebonding therapy in a way. You can teach teenagers to float their parents.
Wow.
There's some amazing things that happen when you have that kind of trust and intimate touch between two people.
Yeah, everybody knows how to start their self-love journey. My husband has always been sick. Like, I lost myself because I was playing dual roles, and that loss of my husband, like, out of, it was, looked at myself in the mirror, Keo, and I didn't like what I saw. And that's when I realized I had to prioritize myself first so that I could be whole for my children.
I learned how to love myself in alternative school.
Okay.
My last few years of high school.
Right.
It was a democratic community, and we were taught to think about ourselves for ourselves.
Wow.
And as a 17-year-old, deciding my own curriculum about what was important to me in my community really enlightened me, really woke me up. They did research on us at Harvard and found that we were highly morally developed and could make ethical decisions. I don't think we teach them that in school.
Yes.
I think little girls especially need to be told that they're smart.
Right.
And and to raise their hand and to be involved and to love their voices. For teenagers to be able to do that is pretty wonderful, because that's all you're about is how do I fit in? Who am I? What's my role going to be? What do I want to do? Am I going to college?
Right. And nowadays, I want everyone to know that the healing journey through self-love may differ.
I don't think it's the same for any one person, just like fingerprints.
Yes. It's not the same. I love that.
Our spiritual needs, our nutritional needs, our physical needs are all different. And it's important to respect that. And that's you love yourself is by honoring and respecting your birth. I think that's what we try to teach elementary kids.
Yeah.
Right?
And I feel some people have this notion that when you talk about self-love, it's selfish. But I want people to know it's not selfish. It's a necessity.
Self-love and being selfish are two completely different things. I think we're made to feel guilty when we do things for ourselves.
Right.
We're taught as women particularly that we need to do for others.
How women is when it comes to the business. Like, your mind is constantly thinking and like just worrying. And all of a sudden, I just needed to quiet my brain, quiet my mind. So like, I put my phone away and I like meditate. I didn't know I was meditating. And I just love the idea of like me not worrying about anything. I was able to quiet my mind. And from then on, I started the meditation process. Like, I couldn't even
couldn't sit.
Yes.
Couldn't sit, yeah.
So
I've been there. I've been in the exact same place. I had a meditation teacher in Boston in the early 30s. And he warned me, he said, you will know when you're really getting benefits of meditation when you fall asleep after you meditate.
Okay.
Because you're going to realize how tired you are.
I wanted everyone to know that it doesn't have to be something formal. It could be something that you can start right away.
You can look at a candle.
Yes.
You can carve an apple with music.
Oh, I love that.
You could walk a labyrinth in the moonlight.
Yeah.
The monks do walking meditations. They do the sand. I mean, there's all kinds of ways. Some people see cooking as a meditation.
Oh, yes. One thing that I realized also, Keo, is living at the present moment.
And putting intention into the food.
Yes.
So, said that life is what happens between the in-breath and the out-breath. And technically he's right, logically, because if we don't have a between, we're not here.
Right.
But think about living in that present moment.
Right.
In other words, are you conscious of even how you're breathing for your whole day? I had to learn how to breathe again last year because I went through so much loss and so much moving, job loss, the death of a family member. It just piles. I feel like my whole life's been tough. I like to think of myself as my own EMT.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned so many different skills to deal with everything that's going to come my way. And I have a toolbox. I think of it as a spiritual toolbox.
Yes.
I have a nutritional toolbox. I have a psychological toolbox. I see it as a really important skill set.
Yes.
To learn how to have a response to stress, period. You can't, I've heard this so many times, you can't choose your stressors, but you can always choose how you respond.
Just embracing those things that are flaws, our weaknesses, our defeats, our trials, because it's something that we cannot control. And by embracing those things, Keo, it builds my resilience. That's how I know that I've reached my authenticity.
Accepted.
Right? Because I've accepted everything that happened in my life.
I knew I wanted to support you.
Yes.
I just trusted the sparkle in your eyes and the authenticity in your voice and what your message was, which was about love. When I was little, I used to draw, hippies used to write bubble letters in the 60s.
Yes.
I used to write LOVE and color it in and give them to my dad.
All right.
And put them all over the door. And I had a necklace that said that. So I was wearing that for years.
Everything
born-
symbolizes something.
I was kind of born pre-programmed. I think all
Yes.
infants and babies are to love everything about their life, their experience, the people that are around.
And why you are able to show love in your workplace, animals, people, is because you have your self-love with you. And like what you said, that you've always believed or felt that you've always put love in the center of everything in your
I love
life.
being here. I just love being. I love being loved.
Correct.
I love being strong.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I
It
love
helps
that.
my confidence. It's helped me as a woman. It's helped me to protect myself. I've never been afraid of my physical strength. I think
Okay.
it was a good thing. It kept me strong and
Okay.
fast as a kid, and I could compete with the boys, which made
Wow.
me feel good. But I'm still lifting weights after 45 years. Love going to my local community fitness center.
Right.
And I love mentoring the high school kids I see there, and also the people who are over 60. I did win a national title in 1996.
Wow.
All natural. I was sponsored by Whole Foods in the
Wow.
Boston area. And I would go around and talk to girls' soccer teams and say, don't diet. Eat. You're supposed to take up space on this planet, and you need to fuel your body the right way.
You are such an inspiration. It's a lifelong journey. And that's how we are going to be really authentic, because we can do whatever we want and just find peace, find the purpose in everything that we do.
Listen to those 89-year-old women who are on social media who have something to say.
Oh, yeah.
I think what they're telling me is how to live.
Right.
They're
right.
telling me to stop wasting my time.
Yes.
And to, follow what's in your heart.
I wanted to emphasize what you said. Stop wasting your time. Really live at the moment. Prioritize yourself. Nobody is going to invest on you but yourself.
Just dream.
Yeah.
Dream little, dream big, dream
Yeah.
medium. Some people are so afraid. I think there's two things. There's fear. This
Yes.
is what I've learned from all my teachers and coaches. I've been so blessed with so many people in my life who have helped me to understand love.
Yeah.
But two things I understand it boils down to: fear and love.
All right.
That's it. And I'm not here for the fear.
Yes, you just talked about dream. This is my dream.
I'm living it with you. That's such an honor.
I used to
It's so
be
much
a
fun.
teacher teaching young kids. I never realized I'd be here as a speaker, aspiring author. I'm a podcast host. In a year and a half, I have about 70 episodes, and I've spoken to the most amazing people. Everybody who has gone through life changes, leadership, found strength in their journey, and starting a show. And it's all because of this tiny dream that I had. You know what I mean? I never thought that my life would change in a heartbeat. But if you have that dream and you put action towards that little dream, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's one thing I realized. Never stop dreaming.
And for people who are afraid to hear that word, because that scares a lot of people.
Yeah.
They don't have the means. They maybe don't have time.
Right.
I used to teach my personal training clients to do goals that were called SMART.
Smart goals. Yes.
S-M-A-R-T.
Yes. Smart goals.
Make it specific.
Yes.
Make it something you can kind of track and keep track of. Because if you're not assessing, you're kind of guessing, and that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Guessing.
Yes.
Sometimes.
M for measurable. Am I right? Yeah. A for attainable.
Realistic.
Yeah. Realistic.
And
Yes.
What's the amount of time you're doing it? This week? This month? This
Right.
So
Break it
I would
down.
break down a year into 4 seasons. I
Yes.
would break the seasons into months,
Right.
the months into weeks, the weeks into days. And for some people, they had to break their day into hours.
When your source, your God, calls you to do something, you just have to be ready to accept, because that's exactly what happened to me.
You know when you're being called.
You know when you're being called. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life.
That
when
happened to me.
yeah,
Happened to me with Watsu. I was a chronic pain patient. Someone said, "Oh, you should try Watsu," and I said, I was very skeptical. I said,
yeah,
"What's that?" And they said, "Just go do it."
right.
So I did, and at the end of my session, you're placed very gently back at the wall, very tenderly, and your eyes are closed. And you open your eyes, and you're looking right at your practitioner as you come out of this semi-dream state.
Wow.
And I opened my eyes, and I didn't even say thank you. I said, "Where do I go to learn how to do this?"
Wow.
Something interesting that's happening to me in my life, though. I hear it, and I'm trying to integrate it into understanding it. I started out teaching children.
Okay.
My first career was I taught second and third grade deaf.
Okay.
And I came back to Pasco County this year, moved here from Alachua County, and I started subbing to see if I wanted to teach.
Wow.
I did. I love it. And it just so happens that I may be being offered a position teaching deaf kids again.
For you to be accepted, it's because they need you, we need you, not because of just a shortage, because there are kids who actually want, to be better, and we need a special skill, a special person who can do that for them. That's why you're here. That's another calling in your life. So don't even doubt it. How difficult is it?
You're trying to put language in someone who can't hear. And that was the whole reason I became a teacher.
Yes.
Because I was fascinated with that idea.
Okay.
What are the linguistics of language without sound?
Okay.
And this was just being studied when I was completing grad school. All the research started to be churned out as I was teaching.
Wow.
So I was learning how to understand how these brains were working and what I needed to do and what I needed to learn. Sign English is not ASL.
Okay.
American Sign Language is its own culture and language. It's got a different verb, subject, object order. I had to use signed English because at that time in America, we were forced to sign in English in the schools. The Deaf Power movement, some years later at Gallaudet University, which is the largest university in the world for deaf people in Washington, D.C., they said no more. No, we need to have ASL in our schools. And these kids, it's like forcing bilingual children who are Spanish English to not have Spanish, to have Spanglish instead of Spanish, which is what signed English is.
Okay.
It's signs attached to English word order, but it's taking someone else's language, scooping the top off of it, and putting it on another language. It's a pidgin signed English. It's really not fair to the kid. So that it was very hard for them, very confusing.
Right.
We did have a deaf Hispanic program in my school.
Okay.
Totally amazing. Because those teachers were talking in Spanish and signing in English. Code switching. So ASL is actually more beautiful.
Yes.
And more compact.
And I could see I could tell the difference.
You can express yourself much faster.
Right.
And embellish on things in such a different way. And everything is visual.
Wow.
Time, distance, emotion.
Tried your life with the word flirt. It's actually the first time that I heard of it. And you said it's a joyful blend of play and work. Now, how has that love-infused philosophy inspired others to heal or rediscover self-care through joy?
Well, as you said, sometimes it's difficult to learn how to care for yourself and to love yourself.
Yeah.
It can feel like work because you think, I have this huge mountain of stuff to plow through.
Yeah.
Well, I like to make little jokes here and there. I like to not take things too seriously and to break things down. And I used to say to my folks who felt overwhelmed, you have a teaspoon.
Right.
There's your mountain. Take 1 teaspoon and move it over there. That's all I want you to do today. And that's doable. That's a smart goal, right?
Yes.
It's measurable, specific. And then one day you're going to wake up and you're going to notice that the mountain's over here. And you're alive and open and free from all of that stuff. But you have to take it in little chunks.
Right.
It shouldn't all be work. It's got to be play. It's got to be fun. You know as well as I do, you're not going to do something that looks like work, sounds like work, if it's not fun. Like exercise.
Yes.
People are like,
And I feel that like your clients, the clients that you work with, let's talk about your work as a teacher for deaf and hearing.
okay.
They're already struggling with their limitations in life, right? Like not being able to communicate through words is already difficult. And if they cannot connect with you because the way you present learning to them is not playful, them to really like not participate, like work with you. If it's all work for them, it has to work both ways. If it's work and play for you, you value that, it has to be work and play for the clients to work with. Because that's how I know connection is going to happen. If both of you have this connection, it's just being joyful in everything that you do. The same thing with animals.
I try to sing.
Okay, that is so nice. All right.
If there's a dog nearby, I ask the dog to come over because usually the horse and the dog are friends and they're playful. There's in barns where there's been a dog.
Okay.
Sometimes the dogs like sit and
Yeah.
kind of appreciate the quiet.
Right,
And the horse being
right.
calmer. I've worked with some very high-strung horses where I know I had to be serious and I couldn't play.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I would hold the image of them like running as foals or younger horses. So they would know what I was thinking and understand that I wanted them to feel like they were free.
Right.
Not in the pain they were in, or not in the stressful situation they were in. I was called to massage a giant horse once who was having surgery the following day. And he knew it.
Right.
He knew he was going to be going into medicine, and he could smell the different doctors around him, and he knew something was very tense, very, very upset. I just kept saying his name over and over again, saying his name and letting him know that he was important to me. Because of his name. I knew who he was, and I knew where he was, and that kind of grounded him.
I feel like the way that you do the plurk in everything that you do, it's a way to inspire others.
By showing them. You can't inspire anyone by talking to them, really. Talk is good. I mean, it gets people interested, but then you have to do something.
Right.
There needs to be an action.
Right.
Sometimes words are the action.
Right.
But most of the time,
step it up.
When you're working with someone and doing something physical, you have to have an activity or something. Yeah, showing someone, telling a story.
Right.
That's where words can come in.
Yes.
Without action. It's telling a story that's a connection to the idea that you're trying to get them to understand or connect with, so that they can carry themselves through. And gentle teasing, not making fun of anyone, but gentle living, like, oh, so you thought it was going to be an easy didn't you? Well, guess what? We're going to work harder than the last time. It's going to be more fun.
Right.
How do you think we can make it more fun? What would you like to do? Giving them the power to create that.
Yes.
Is really important. That's
work will make a difference in the lives of the students. You know what I mean?
I honestly hope so. And what else I hope is that when people tell me that they admire me or they're inspired, and I get a lot of compliments sometimes, I say, you know what? I'm just a reflection of you.
Oh,
and I say that to all my women friends all the time, because it's true. I wouldn't be who I am without you. I wouldn't be where I am without the women in my life who have loved me.
Yes.
And loved me into action, and loved me into understanding, and loved me into maturity, and loved me into whatever.
Show up to everybody in multiple social media every day. I post, I do my own quotes, I sing, and you'll be surprised. I'm probably the only podcaster or speaker who dances, who sings, who's being silly. Because I want people to know that despite the challenges, the hurt, the pain, the grief that I went through in life, you can still smile. You can still laugh.
Of course.
And hey, it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to laugh despite the pain. And it doesn't mean I don't encounter problems on a daily basis. I'm still human. We still have challenges. But then the way you perceive life, I just make sure that there's more lightness. And I feel that when I am that mood wherein it's just joyful and lightness, and it's me, I have reached my highest authenticity. As long as I would get those messages randomly saying, Candice, thank you for what you said Tuesday. Candice, because of you, I started my own podcast. 3 right after my podcast. Candice, can you help me with this? As long as I am receiving those random messages from strangers, people from all over the world that I don't even know, I've done my job.
That's right.
I feel like people need to lighten up.
I have to credit that word, though. It's not mine.
Okay.
It came from a massage therapist in Gainesville.
Okay.
Who was teaching and needed a demo body to teach with. She called it her Demi Moore.
Yeah.
I know we should love our work. If it's really truly what the work we're supposed to be doing, we're going to love it. So that's why it's flirt.
Yeah.
Because it's like play. It could be intelligent play. It could be physical play. It could be...
I just feel like it's the best way also for self-love. Just be happy.
When did I know? When was I aware that I loved myself? I don't think it was until I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
20s were not a great decade for me.
We should start young. Even as a teacher of young kids, develop those kids, develop their self-esteem, their self-value, self-respect. Like, this self-love journey should start the moment you are conceived. Don't wait until the last moment wherein you're so down on your knees, down on your luck, down on your experiences in life before you actually love yourself. Work on the children that you are connected with, whether your student, your child, your nieces. Develop them to their fullest. How? By simply making them feel that they can do whatever they want, that they are special, they are unique, the words that you use, just be gentle, because whatever your words can either break someone or make someone. So as someone who bridges healing across species, communities, and even crisis recovery, how do you define global compassion? And perhaps maybe enlighten our viewers on how can each of us live with more of it in our everyday lives?
Beautiful question.
Yeah.
Global compassion is the sum of each one of us respecting and honoring the earth and who we are on it. And there's a couple of quotes I found about this that I just love. One of them is, "Let compassion bloom where pain once lived." If we could give every child who's under the age of 5 a massage, or hand or foot massage. When my kids in my classroom would argue or do something inappropriate, I wouldn't just ask them to tell each other they were sorry, because what does the word sorry mean to an 8-year-old? It's a word that they're forced to repeat.
Too broad.
I would say, okay, is it okay if you give this person a nice touch on their hands? It's okay with them. Ask them if it's okay for you to touch their hands.
Okay.
The person would say yes, and they would give each other a nice little hand massage while they were saying, "I'm sorry."
Okay.
So they would get the connection of the feeling of someone being compassionately caring for them.
Okay.
With an apology.
Right.
I think there's a lot of suffering in the world, and you can focus on that, or you can focus on the other side of it, which is the healing.
Right.
That's what I've chosen to do. And compassion is created through action,
Okay.
and thought, and intention. And by teaching anyone at any age that this is where they need to live inside their own heart, they can be that in the world.
So I've lived everywhere. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I lived in Australia. And then I've been here in the United States for like 25 years. And in the United States, I've lived in Connecticut, New York, and Florida. So global compassion for me, really, as I define it, is really all my life experiences put together. Having lived in 3 continents, 3 countries, and 3 states in America, in every area that I've been with, in every country, I've learned to just find compassion with people. I had to accept different languages, personalities, culture, and I found the beauty in every place that I visited. And I think that's also one reason why you can bring me anywhere in the world. I think I'm able to show compassion because of how I was built, because of where I lived all my life. And because I've met these wonderful people, I've learned to just accept people for who they are, irregardless of skin color, irregardless of your hair color, your abilities, your disabilities, political affiliation, religion. I just learned that we are all different, but unique, but we are all the same. Like, no matter how different we are, Keo, there's still something the same with all of us. And that is, we're all important. Like, we all have the right to live. We all have a beautiful side in each of us. And for me, that's global compassion. That's how I view the world. And
that's beautiful. I never realized I had so much in common with you. My best friend in high school was Filipina. We're still friends.
That's nice.
And I grew up a little bit in France.
Right,
and
okay.
My mother would pull us out of French public school and drive us to different countries. So by the time I was 12, I had seen a lot of Europe.
Nice.
And when I came back to the United States, I didn't fit in with my peer group at all.
Okay.
Because I thought American children were really strange.
Okay.
They watch TV a lot, but they didn't play outside so much. And I was into nature,
right,
and art, and understanding that, wow, there's more than one language.
Right. Yes.
You know, yeah, it's important to travel. If you can't travel physically, at least we have access to so much technology now.
We have,
to see the world.
If we can share whatever culture we have, isn't that such a beautiful experience? What do you think is our greatest challenge right now when it comes to global compassion? And maybe after that, how can we fix it?
Learning how to listen
without judgment.
Learning how to hear without resentment and fear. just learning how to listen,
Right.
and to understand and appreciate someone's feelings and ideas.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're completely not understandable,
Right.
or weird. You're gonna judge what you hear all the time. So if someone is really trying to get a message across and they're passionate and upset, angry, or hurt, you need to just listen and be there.
The group of people that you deal with because of what you do, that's just another group of people that might be neglected sometimes in our society.
Marginalized.
We're marginalized. So if we could just, like I said, put it all together, what we've been talking about from the beginning of this interview, love yourself, accept others, and from that you can then, global compassion could be something really easy for you. It doesn't have to be difficult if you are just able to accept everybody for who they are, especially these marginalized group of people. And we don't hear a lot about them.
When you're deaf, you can also be black, brown,
Yeah.
yellow, or red.
Yes.
You can also be male, female, or transgender, or cross-gender, or
Yes.
anything. Deafness is just another layer
Right,
on top
right.
of all of that. So when I taught deaf children, I would take them on a field trip, a very special field trip. I'd be preparing them for this for months. We would read all about her. Helen Keller,
Oh,
who
yes.
was a deaf and blind woman.
Yes. Perfect example.
Helen Keller's school in Boston was the Perkins School, and my school was about 10 minutes away. So we would have a bus drive us over, and they would tour the school. We would come back to class and talk about
Yes.
deafness and blindness. And all of the kids every year would say the same thing. "Whew, glad I'm not blind." And I would just laugh with them
Yeah.
because they didn't think of themselves as disabled.
Wow.
They didn't think of themselves as marginalized. They understood finally
Love that.
that hearing people thought that about them, that they didn't need to think that about themselves.
Yes.
Because they could finally step out of their place and see how Helen was educated and what she had to go through.
I love that.
The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt in the heart.
Keo, that message, that reminder is what we need at this time. Because sometimes the world feels so disconnected. And sometimes all we need is really love in everything that we do.
The Beatles said that.
Yeah.
All you need.
All we need is love. Listen to that song, All We Need Is Love. And I just want to say thank you for being here. I felt your heart. I felt your words. I felt every bit of you. And I know that this is why I do this show, is because I really want to feature everyday individuals who can share brightness to others who might be feeling low at this time.
It's such good medicine for our planet. May all that you do, all the energy that you put into this, and all of the ripple effects flow through our culture and our world and our globe into the earth and heal us from the inside out.
Thank you. And it means a lot. It means a lot. Like if we can uplift a small portion of a community, a country, a world, I believe in ripple effect. And I mean, it always has an impact. And my only goal is really spread love. Spread love. And that's how we can appreciate life. Because without love, there's no meaning, there's no purpose in what we do.
That's why we're here. We're here to love each other and to bring each other.
Yes, thank you. I want to thank Keo Fox for my special cap and for this very beautiful souvenir. And again, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on Love Speaks. And I hope this conversation inspired you to lead with love, live with intention, and show up with compassion for yourself and for others. Remember, love isn't just something we say. It's something we do. Whether it's through a kind word, a helping hand, or simply being present. Your love matters. So until the next time, keep shining your light, keep spreading love in your corner of the world, and I'll keep doing the same in mine. This is Candice Ruggiero with love. Bye.